see. Make sure this mic, because this might be. Hello, my name is Miladies. I'm a spirit shifter here, guiding you on your journey towards self-awareness. And today we're going to be talking about Saturn going retrograde in Pisces. How did you wake up this morning? We are actually on the exact same day that Saturn goes retrograde. I am a Saturn baby. Saturn rules my chart. And so that means that whatever Saturn goes through, I go through on a deeper level. So I did wake up this morning emotional, right? Look, I can't even talk about it. I did wake up emotional. Now Saturn gives this structural energy that gives you this attitude of like I don't give a fuck attitude, but also it's like this attitude of I gotta get things done. And imagine those attitudes in a water sign. So today I'll be breaking down some key themes on Saturn going retrograde in Pisces. When was the last time it was in Pisces? Who is going to be affecting and all that good stuff. I love you guys so much. The channel is growing. I appreciate you guys for letting me know what you desire, right? I'm talking like this because I need to start putting the mic over here. Nonetheless, I pray that y'all can hear me. And the channel's growing. We are 6 subscribers away from 600. Thank you so much for joining authentically. A lot of the subscribers come from the Think Expedite video as well. So I do want to give you all a thanks for getting this quick cash and giving yourself that time and space to see how you can use your own magic and power to make this happen for emergencies. Also, we doing the 21-day challenge on TikTok. I'm grateful for you guys for waking up in the morning. We're together between 8 and 9 o'clock, depending on when the energy is there. And we wake up every day. We on day 18 was today. July 2nd will be our last day. Challenges are something that this channel does, and we are coming back with a challenge. So stay tuned, put your notifications in. Thank you again for sorry, I gotta see. Hey, Kamisita. Blessings. So you may have an attitude today. You may wake up crying, emotional eruption, right? Yesterday for me, it was a blessing that all 3 of my siblings came through. It was a bit intense, nonetheless, as I stayed in alignment and just been the observer. Every time I try to interject into something, it kind of didn't go so well. So I just became the observer and I learned how to use my tools. And overall, if your family members leave late, that means they had a good time, right? So I was very grateful for that surprise. Nonetheless, it was also quite emotional, right? Being someone who heals, just absorbing all those energies. They live in different spaces, going through different things. It does not positive or negative, just like everybody's going through their own lives. And then we all here joining, speaking, crying, doing all these different things. So it was really beautiful. And I found that to be somewhat of a testimony of Saturn going into Pisces, So I want you to come back to this video. This is an energetic this is an energy that's going to be transpiring for the next 5 months, right? And we'll talk about that. So this is not just like today and, let's forget about it. And then you're going through something and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? And hello, did you forget? So one of the things that I enjoy to share is to make sure that you know where is it falling in your chart. Before I do that, you already know we got services all day, every day since 2017. So go ahead and see what services I provide that can assist you, whether if it's meditation, whether if it's yoga, learning how to calm down the mind, learning how to switch your subconscious mind. There's so many things that if I have for you all, don't forget that. I'm also doing a webinar going deeper, right? It's already down below. It's going to go deeper into Saturn going retrograde in the 12 houses. So while these are general videos that I do to assist in navigating this energy, at the same time, it gets personal. And I always share that with you all. You're unique. We're all unique. Immediately as you're born, and every detail that comes with that numerology, you're unique. Even to the milliseconds, right? And so with that being said, yes, Saturn is going retrograde in Pisces. Where is it transiting? Where is it going to affect you? I'll share how long pattern. Is that a Pisces and Saturn pattern? Anyways. I'll share until when Saturn is going to be in Pisces, and all those things. So I want you to get a transit reading, go to astro.com, come to this webinar. For those of you who are in the astrology group, you'll be getting that. It comes with the astrology monthly packages. However, for those of you who want to join the webinar but can't, you can still get it. It's going to be recorded, and I will be sharing deeper tools on the aspects of what we're healing. And I'll share the themes again. But right now, what we are deeply healing is our childhood trauma, our childhood karma, our collective karma, and our ancestral karma. So this is why it's so deep and it's so emotional, and we feel it, right, in all aspects, and it's a little bit intense or a lot intense depending on how it's transiting for you. So come to this webinar. Those of you who have joined the webinar and are here, let us know how was it for you. I've done several webinars where we sit intimately, so space is limited because as a projector, this is not something that is for whenever spirit decides for that to occur, let me not block myself. Nonetheless, with the energy that I currently am cultivating, I hold space for about 22 people normally, so that way you can come in, chart, and we'll definitely have the questions after the webinar and things like that. But it's very, very intimate. I will again be going through each house, so that way you'll know how to use this energy on a deeper level in addition to this video. So for me, I have Saturn Pisces in my second house. No, pardon me, in my third house. So that's affecting communications, right? Communications with others, travels. Is also my immediate environment, right? Is also speaking about, any trauma that I've had in my childhood when it comes to elementary school, bullying, all those things, right? This time around is a deeper closure. Pisces rules the 12th house, which means that we are closing out a lot of childhood, ancestral, and collective karma. That could be good or bad. Your definition is up to you. Nonetheless, we are responding from a level with the tools that we currently have. All right. So again, get a transit reading with me, or you can go ahead and go to astral.com and navigate through that. If I didn't already, I think I did make a video for how to navigate on astral.com. Let me know, because I'll do that. I'll share with you how to navigate through the astral.com so you can look up this transit. So anything that has to do with the third house for me until Saturn leaves Pisces, I'll be having to work through that. Oh, in addition to everything else, don't forget about that. Okay. So let's get to it. If you see me looking like this, you already know what? I got my notes. So now, those of us who are Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we are being affected deeply, right? We all have Saturn somewhere, all right? The Saturn is going to transit in Pisces. So the main important thing is to make sure that you understand that part. Some of us are going to get affected more than others, depending on what the level of your healing has been, right? Some of us may be starting from now, and it can be excruciating, right? What is ancestral karma, right? Oh, I was running away from my childhood emotions, and now it's surfacing up. It happens in many ways, and it happens in levels. So a lot of us do feel as if we have already healed that aspect of ourselves, and we don't need to go there anymore because I already did the work. Surprise, surprise. Closure. When those thoughts appear of your childhood trauma, do you look at it from a perspective of still associating to it? Like, what are the emotions attached to it? Can you speak about a situation on a much higher vibration? Speaking about your parents, speaking about, getting bullied, right? How do you recognize those themes, those events, without being attached to them? Hello. All right. So Saturn has been in Pisces. Let me get my notes. Saturn has been in Pisces since March 2023. So we are revisiting, right, with the retrograde. Retrograde specifically means that the planet is at a standstill. It's not moving as rapid as it normally would. And as we continue to navigate, we look at that planet going backwards from the point of view of Earth, so that we look at it backwards because we're still moving, but that planet is taking its time. So Saturn right now is at that space. So retrograde, anything with RE, reinventing, reorganizing, revisiting, rereading, right? This is talking about going back to details and ensuring that we're closing out. So since and then March 2023, and it's going to be going into February 2026. That's how long this transit is, in addition to everything else that's occurring, right? This is why it's important to write some things down, get to know yourself a little bit better, so that when things start erupting, you are able to navigate and be like, okay, hold up. Let me use this tool for this because I knew you was coming. Not today, Saturn. All right. So the last time that Saturn was in Pisces was in from 1994 to 1996. So those of you who were born between 1994 and 1996, you're experiencing your Saturn return, right? Party life over, MFers. Party life over. Party life over. Now is when the real shit begins, right? You're going to be experiencing a sense of things are breaking down for you, right? Where the navigation of your journey on this earth may shift you into a different direction. This is where those midlife crises come in. These categories that we put in to like recognize our emotions and stuff and where we're at. This is where the who am I comes in for those of you who are having your Saturn return. All right. So anybody who has any children that was born from 1994 to 1996, pay attention because they will be going through something. How do you assist them during this time? How do we choose differently to assist them rather than to sit there and go back to how our parents used to treat us? Okay, or our guardians. In addition to this, Neptune since 2012 has been in Pisces fucking shit up, right? And so it's also, I'll talk about Neptune in another video. Neptune is going to be going retrograde in Pisces July 2nd. Yes, next week. And it's going to be there until December 7th. So stay tuned for that video because we got to go back to 2012 with this one. So this is not the video for it. All right. So what are the key themes? This is how Saturn has me. Y'all see me all this pop, pop, pop. Saturn being a Capricorn rising is like, yeah, Saturn is like, yeah, I'm not playing with you. And I'm like, yes, sir. And so this is my revising, reviewing. Yes, I've been doing these videos and now, we're going to get a little more detail, more technical with how we delivering information. So what are the key themes, right? Whew. The key theme is one, from today till November 15th, this energy is going to be occurring. How do you keep reminding yourself? Maybe every 2 to 3 months. How much we got? I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, you have like a notification saying, go back to your notes for Saturn and Pisces, right? Maybe do a little check-in on yourself. The key themes, deep emotional processing, all right? Pisces is a water sign, right? Pisces is associated with sensitivity, intuition, right? The unconscious mind. Again, dealing with the 12th house. So yes, a lot of things are going to be resurfacing that have to do with our emotions. Many of us may feel as though we have achieved emotional intelligence. Nonetheless, there's still going to be some things coming in to see if you did do the do. Like, are you emotionally intelligent? I can say for myself, yesterday I was triggered by one of my siblings, and one, I learned how to stand my ground and be heard, right? In addition to that, I was able to assist my sibling recognize different things in communication, and as well as she did to me. That was cool. No problem. We had a great day after that. So deep emotional processing. I'm not sitting here saying now go and make amends with people that you feel that have hurt you deeply, and the reason why your life is like this is because of this person, right? The first thing is you. What is your deeper emotions? Let's understand yourself. When you understand yourself, you're able to navigate everything else around you, not take things so personal. So it is about serious reflection, right? It's gonna make you confront and reevaluate your emotional boundaries, your spiritual beliefs, and your past trauma, like I shared. Right? Then you got that spiritual discipline. Saturn comes in to bring structure. So since March 2023, there's been some structure in a specific area in your life. Have you noticed it? It could be your health. Again, it could be your communication style has changed. You started standing up for yourself for certain things. And so when it's retrograde in Pisces, it's asking us to actively apply our spiritual practices and tools so that we can, again, level up. Everybody always want to level up, level up. How are we doing it? How are we actively doing it? All right, because Saturn is actively doing it. Pisces is like, I think I want to do it. Maybe I'll do it. They envision the whole thing. And it's like, yeah, nah. Saturn is like, you said what? You just finished saying you wanted to do that. Oh, we're going to do this. And it's not forceful either because it's things that you love to do, right? Like releasing emotional baggages. Okay. So that also talks about redefining what your daily practices are, right? This talks about inviting other tools into your life, which I'll share as well, to help you go through this, like psychosocial therapy, meditation, right? This I haven't got into yet, and I would love to, is somatic healing. Yeah. It's like hitting a couple of points of emotional release at one time. 5. Because she's me. I don't know if it's the Aries or the Capricorn rising, or it's just that I don't have a lot of water in my chart. That I personally, if you're gonna hit me with emotional baggages and I gotta release it, give it to me one time. I'm gonna go to something like sound healing and work on my heart chakra. Just give it to me, and I'm gonna burst out in tears and stuff like that. But however, you know, let me work through the week without having to go through all of that. Nonetheless, I give myself a chance and build a space to release. These are the things, like, how do you do it? All right. And things that are tangible, right? Again, 5 minutes a day practices, but it's about discipline. It's about consistency. So let's not set the bar too high. Why are you doing that to yourself? First and foremost, when was the last time you revisited any of those thoughts and emotions? So for you to be sitting here like, I'm gonna get through this real quick. Chill, cowboy and cowgirl. What are we doing? Give yourself the space and time. All right. Can you speed up the healing? Yes. Do you reflect on it while you speeding up the healing? Probably not, because you in the process. So this is also where the reflection comes in. All right. Another key theme is artistic and creative structure. For my entrepreneurs, Pisces brings in that energy of art in whatever form. Let's continue to redefine words for ourselves and our reality. What does art mean to you? Yesterday, while my siblings were talking and things like that, I decided that I just wanted to see artists on YouTube coloring. I like that. I like to see artwork. I like to see that. So that gives me inspiration. Am I an artist? I'm not going to say no. You know, if you put something out there for me, like I got some artwork, but of course it's those sipping paints and stuff. But I have fun with it. I personally know me and Picasso was cousins, but I was like that cousin that was just like, you know, trying to be like Picasso, you know. But I enjoy my stick figures. All right. So how do you redefine art for yourself? Is it through music? You know, is it through writing? Right. Many of us have writer's block. And why do I do this? Writer's block because the only thing that's blocking you is you picking up your phone and recording what's shifting through your mind. Many of us have these thoughts that go on a rapid pace. Of course, you don't want to write, right? Because you get tired, because you got to write fast because your thoughts is going by a mile a minute. So how about you just record it and then later on listen to it and write it down, right? I learned that about 2 years ago. That was something that recently came into my life, and it has been phenomenal. All right. So visual art, these things are going to continue to activate our right side of the brain, that creative side. Excuse me, our left side. Why did I say that? Sorry. Our left side of the brain. Our left side, our creative side. And so those things are going to be coming in, and Saturn is going to push you to do these things. So with it being 5 months of rediscovery for what you've been doing since March 2023, let's go back to see what that looks like. So when I talk about closure, let's not forget that that does mean finishing off anything that you already have started. Rather than starting something new now, go back to the things that you have already started. And then resolving karmic debts. How that sounds? That should sound a little bit like... But we're here to redefine. So Saturn, we already know and have been told that is the Lord of Karma. Karma is nor good or bad. However, Saturn is also associated with the third dimension. The third dimension, which is the 3D, right? If you haven't heard about that, go and check it out. There's a whole bunch of videos about that. And so with the 3D, it talks about material things. It talks about, again, tangible things. So you have Pisces, who loves to be up in the ether, and then you have Saturn, who's here, and they're working together simultaneously until February 2026 to bring this to here, right? To bring that structure down. And so it is associated with our past lives, our karmic debts, right? Old issues, to resolve them, whether if it's emotional patterns. So this could be definitely a time just for you and you, right? Relationships, any past mistakes that we have done, it's just coming back to get rectified. And with that being said, that does mean those of us who have also been in spaces of ending things and still feeling like something hasn't been closed out. That does talk about ex-husbands, ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, right? Ex, whatever you define that to be. So yeah. We're gonna get deeper. Let me see the comments because I was looking at my notes. I love y'all. Let me know so far if you found out where your Saturn in Pisces retrograde is located. And so let's just get a little bit deeper on some of these themes. I will be doing a collective reading at the end, right? Because I see this as rather than, yes, individually you're going to be going through your own stuff, the collective reading is going to involve all of us. I even have my past life cards to see, as collectives, what are we letting go of that can also help us out, right? All right. So when we talk about Saturn, we talk about Saturn in a way where when it's with Pisces, we're combining the energy of boundless, right? Because there's no boundaries with Pisces. And then structure. So we are bringing those two together. We're bringing structure into what we no longer are going to accept in our lives. So that does mean any promises that you also have made with yourself. So while we would love to analyze how the energies of others are also affecting us, how have you lied to yourself? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get out this job. Like, okay, so let's go. I'm even giving you so many ideas. I'm even giving you this retrograde so you can go ahead and redefine what those ideas mean to you, right? Because when it goes direct, it's going to be pushing you to what you rectify, meaning like you closed out, right? Because that's what Pisces comes in with. You closed out things. Saturn is going to come in with rewards. One thing about Saturn is that it's going to give you rewards. That's a fact. There's no doubt about that. And being a Saturn baby, Saturn rules my chart. I've learned to go slow and steady, slow and steady, slow and steady. Things are going to work out. The Saturn is letting you know, like, slow and steady, and shit is about to pop off. Why? When you close out things, what happens? It gets filled back up with beautiful stuff. Stop playing. All right. So when Saturn transits through Pisces, it gives us a sense of being constricted, right? We feel limited, right? And it's really to look at the smaller details. Pisces can overlook details, right? And so that means when you said you was going to leave your job, that's always a good one to go to. You said you was going to leave your job. You did your resume, you put it out, and you forgot to add a job position that can enhance your chances of getting this job. Those are the details that you miss when Saturn might be direct in Pisces, because Pisces might want to shift through this fast because it doesn't want to be feeling constricted. So make sure that you looking at things, because you can overlook stuff. And there is some spiritual challenges. Some of us may not want to be spiritually heightened or be this sensitive, right? But there's structure that's coming in, and there's structure coming in with this sensitivity, right? As you build these boundaries, you allow yourself to be more sensitive to energy. For those of you who are spiritually growing, when you build boundaries, build boundaries, Saturn, Pisces can be more creative, right? Your thoughts can be more creative. Whatever it is that for those who are entrepreneurs or selling, whatever it is that you're writing, you become more creative because you build that boundary. What does that mean? Time, right? Saturn is the Lord of time. So what does that mean? You're sitting there creating time for yourself to be creative or to reflect on your emotions or anything that you're going through. Whether if it's ancestral, whether if it's personal, or whether if it's a collective thing. So, like I shared, there's going to be some testings when it comes to your spiritual beliefs. Where are you strengthening your spiritual practices? What is authenticity to you when it comes to your spiritual practices? Who are you surrounding yourself with that's assisting you in your growth? I got testimonies. Shout out always and forever to the Mermaid Gang. Surround yourself with good people, right? Grounding and reality, right? That does talk about knowing how to use the tools that you have to ground all these different aspects of yourself that's currently coming through. Your spiritual practice that you're starting, right? You revising it. Okay, from March 2023 to now, you was trying to meditate. It didn't work for you. You didn't feel like sitting like a monk. But cool. So now what do? Do you walk in nature? And that's a form of meditation for you? That's restructuring and revisiting that aspect. Do you begin to listen to voices that assist you in going through meditation, right? So these are the things that is going to be assisting you when it comes to testing your spiritual beliefs, right? Healing through responsibilities, right? Pisces is associated with healing, and then Saturn demands the healing to occur through acceptance of responsibilities. Again, it may feel heavy. Pisces has given us that energy to collectively get through it, letting us dive deep into our emotions because we got that barrier. It's like when you reparent yourself and you begin to rock yourself, right? Your baby you. That's like you nurturing, protecting yourself. That's Saturn, right? Saturn is also associated with the father, right? So we'll talk about that. And Pisces is the baby. So now you're protecting yourself. So that barrier right there is the responsibility, right? You're being responsible to nurture yourself, to build that barrier for yourself so that you can deal and shift through that karma. Now, this could be good karma too. So don't get it twisted that we're just talking about we're going to be going through this thing and this is crucial. Some of us have been actively working on our ancestral karma, on our collective karma, right? Our collective karma, and I'll get deeper into that in the webinar, is associated with those who we surround ourselves with, those who we've made pacts with in other lifetimes, saying, hey, in March 2023, I'm going to meet you for the first time and we're going to be activists to create a farm, to sell vegetables at a low price. And now you meet somebody and that's collective karma as well. All right. So come to the webinar because it's going to be juicy. All right. So the healing through responsibility also includes being truthful to yourself, even if it's uncomfortable, right? One of the things that maybe this is because Saturn rules my chart. I do take responsibility and accountability. So whenever I feel that I might have been out of line, or I allow people to correct me because there's times that I don't know everything. And when people are viewing you from the outside, it's always good to take constructive criticism. Many people have a difficult time with that. So what happens when you feel uncomfortable with the truth, even if somebody's coming to tell you the truth, right? Being able to say to yourself, hey, I think it's time to go to therapy. Hey, I think it's time to end this friendship, relationship, this connection to the environment that I live in, this connection to the ancestor that I no longer want to serve. All right. And so that goes into understanding how to go deeper and taking responsibility on the family karma and trauma. Again, create that creative discipline. It is going to be a powerful time for you to be productive on what you put out there, to test things out. Channeling Pisces, it allows you to create a routine. For those of you who enjoy art, you go into the space of saying, Mondays at 7 a.m., I'm going to watch the sunset. And through the sunset, I'm able to get creative. And I'm going to do one painting a week. Stop playing by the channel. Channel your artistic side. Channel. First and foremost, you don't have to do this by yourself. This is where it gets juicy, right? You can definitely use the imagination of Pisces to bring down some of those energies of creative artists that have passed away, right? And have them influence you. I'm not talking about summons them. have them influence you. Hey, Picasso, influence me in my dreams on my next creative project. I know y'all probably think I'm like Delulu, which I am. Okay. Ethical and moral spiritualism. So now, reminding me and you that this energy is going to be shifting all the way into November 15th. Now, as a collective, that's around the time when the elections in the United States are popping. So this ethical and moral theme is going to be going back and forth, back and forth. This is again where that collective energy is coming from. So this energy is going to be affecting us at a grand level. Why? Because Saturn is an outer planet. An outer planet is a social and outer planet. Social and outer. So what does that mean? It means that it's socially affecting us as well. So this does mean finally ending those relationships, those friendships that friendships of thoughts where you're no longer supported, and now collectively you found a group of people that is going to assist you. And you're gonna assist them because let's keep it real. It's a collective energy, so we're both, all of us, we're putting in energy. What you put in comes back, right? So let's keep thinking about that. So Saturn in Pisces is also going to bring up questions about our spirituality, the spiritual groups we're part of, what's the responsibility of it. So it definitely is going to put us in a space of re-evaluating those who we may look up to when it comes to the spiritual realm, like who some of us may have, right, these people that we follow or that we learn from, and we're no longer going to probably be joining them anymore. You might have graduated already. So also if some of your spiritual guides on earth are no longer suiting your knowledge, wisdom, it's okay. It doesn't mean that you have to be like, oh, I'm not fucking with them no more. See, that type of energy sometimes or most times continues the karma, right? Because where's the acceptance that you've grown as well, right? And so this does talk about the ethics and morals of institutions. That goes with all of the government institutions, um, ethics and morals when it comes to jobs. Like, are we really supposed to be working that much hours a week? Things like that. And so it does demand that individually we continue to consider what spirituality means to ourselves, what our experience has been, all right? Reminding deeply that what's happening inside is what we see outside. What's happening inside, we see outside. And I'll give an example, real life example. Um, Whatever energy the sibling I was having this dispute with was feeling, I was feeling it inside too. So the riling up of that caused us to have a dispute. Nonetheless, through the energies of spiritual tools, I was able to assist both of us to navigate through whatever conflict may have occurred. And there was a spiritual growth there. Okay. So I'm going to give some tips and tools on how to navigate through this, which is obviously a bit more different than, it's different than what I'm going to be sharing in the webinar. So don't forget to sign up. I'm giving you tools to heal the childhood trauma. I'm giving you tools to heal the collective karma as well as the ancestral karma. So you have these tools so that you can utilize what serves you to navigate through this. And seriously, it does not have to be hard. This is what we're shifting from, right? We're closing things out. The 12th house is about collective karma, and it talks about how are we making this easier for ourselves. Well, let me see what y'all saying. Hello, which rising? Which rising? Hey, Saturn and Aries in the 4th house. Okay. God damn. God damn, God damn. All right. Immediate. See, this is what we're gonna be doing in the webinar. But immediately is deep ancestral work for sure. 4th house has to do with our roots. Aries is coming in with that fire, that spiritual energy, and Saturn again, that karmic spiritual energy. So you're definitely going to be shifting through a lot of spiritual karmic growth specifically. Let's go. Oh, see, I love y'all. All right, let me focus. Why can't we looking at the comments? You know what I mean? All right. How I'm doing. Look at me. Look at me being on. Doop, 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 doop. Doop, doop, doop. Y'all be helping me out. All right. I do feel, I know, I sound like a little bit on my shit because Saturn really does that for me. Like, take me to a meeting. You be like, who is this? A lot of people are always asking me, do I write my own articles? Do I actually really speak like that? Sweetie, I was working for the government. You think I could come in there and talk about, hey, yo, what up? No. Good evening, everyone. How are you? During this presentation, we are accurately going to be checking in to the numbers that are assisting our system to be able to get more fitness classes out there. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Anyways, I have Neptune in my 1st house, which expresses that I could have been an actress, which I do a lot of voice imitation. It's crazy. Anyways, that's not here or there. Focus, my ladies. I will. General. This is in general. All right. But again, depending, like you see, Tracy has it in her 4th house. So these things that I'm sharing with her, she can actively start placing it into her 4th house. Because we doing this. I'm not sharing this just so you can be like, oh, this is so cute information. I love the way you share it. Let's do it together. All right. Emotional honesty. How to navigate through this. Be honest. Be honest about your feelings. Pisces can sometimes lead us to escapism. Oh, yes. The drinking, the drugs, the sex, the food, the clothes. All right. But Saturn will not allow that. All right. It's going to be uncomfortable. So, prime example, if you're an emotional eater and this is the area that you want to heal, the deeper level of that, emotional eating is connected to the emotions that we have not healed, right? That's the deeper level to that. But say that you don't want to listen and then you go and you eat a pizza, then you could be overeating and then you end up getting sick for overeating. That's Saturn telling you, oye, ¿hasta cuándo? Until when? All right. So this does talk about facing it head on and working through them. So this talks about applying those spiritual practices so that you can be able to find deeper compassion into your emotional eating, into your lies about wanting to work out, right? Because we lie to ourselves. Let's keep. When I lie to myself, I sit here and I meditate. Like, you better stop lying. You better sit down and see if that's what you really want to do. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So this talks about our everyday intention. I'm going to keep saying it. And to those of us who are Reiki practitioners, energy healers, sound healers, right? These beautiful titles, start again. This is that time you start again and start putting it back into self, right? You have an emotional disruption. What did you learn? when you was taking those classes? How good did you feel when you was taking those classes and you were surrounded by people? You see, this is what that talks about. And then also embracing solitude. Saturn in Pisces can often give us a space for us to grow. Again, because we're releasing, that does mean your phone might be dry. You might not get phone calls, right? My phone stay dry. Nonetheless, I enjoy that because there was a time where my phone was ringing all the time and I was available for everybody. Even people would call me when they would get locked up. My number's still the same number since I was 18 years old. So I did live a rough, challenging, colorful life. So yes, I had friends that went to jail and I will go and I will pick them up. That was my job then, all right? Don't judge me. I did a couple of things. I had to help people out. You feel me? And so that no longer happens, right? But again, there's some things that's going to be dropping, which then puts you in a space of solitude. I know y'all laughing, right? So the solitude is going to help us get down deep into our psyche. It's going to be able for us to explore our dreams, reminding ourselves that Pisces is a visionary. But if you're in escapism, what happens? Your visions become a little bit all right. So with that being said, make sure that you begin to start listening to your intuition. In the past videos, I pulled out a card where we spoke about how to create a signal to tap into our intuition and to tap into our spiritual team. So you can be going through some emotional eruption, right? And then all of a sudden you remember a code word that your spiritual team knows, and you be like, cold cupcake, and your spiritual team comes through and they know that it's time to nurture you and heal you. You know, these things are going to be helping out. Structured healing. Create structured approach to heal the process. What we were just talking about. Therapy. Schedule self-reflection time. Be consistent with your spiritual practice and make healing a priority. Just like we make everything else a priority. Oh, I'm going to go to this person's activity, I'm going to be hanging out with this person. Where in there are you saying, I'm going to heal? I'm going to sit down with my emotions and heal. This is what the fuck this shit is. Because guess what? Some of us may be guided to sit the fuck down should we not pay attention. All right. What are you going to incorporate? Talk to your friends. If you can talk to your friends about you about to start a new meditation journey, you know, something that is going to transform you. We manifest in you friends that are ready to listen to that. One of our fears of healing is also feeling like, hey, solitude, we're the only ones. I'm the only one doing this. This is not fair. Sweetie, we just expressed that Saturn is about to level it up for you. It is fair. And it's your time to shine. Yeah. I wonder if my neighbors can hear me. All right. I'll be getting hyped. All right. Creativity with limits, right? It goes back to this. I'm going back to this. I don't care if you keep hearing it. Pisces is all about creativity, right? Use the time to work on your creative projects on a discipline schedule. All right. And then really allow yourself to place long-term commitment to these projects. Pisces is not about it's not about long-term. So how does this spiritual practice is going to be fruitful for you 2 years from now? Right? Because this energy is still going to be effective until 2026. So when we're building that structure right now, it's going to be effective for us. So by the time Saturn leaves Pisces, that emotional intelligence went, again, it leveled up. So you're more in control with your energy. Meditation and mindfulness. I don't care if you keep hearing meditation. Because it's not about quieting the mind. It's about getting yourself to center. The mind is going to get quiet regardless. Shrinking it to 2 to 3 thoughts. Focusing on it. I always express that 1 word, 2 word, 3 words is all that we may need to come back to ourselves. And I'm going to give you the best 3 words of your fucking life. I love me. That's it. I love me. Come through. All right. So engaging in things that bring clarity into your mind. That's the mindful practice. Again, redefining what meditation means to us can really help us dismantle the resistance that we have against meditation. All right. Because it's really going to let you know who you really are. All right. Tai Chi, yoga, or any similar practices to that extent. Yes, you can do a vigorous workout, right? You out there, ha, ha, ha. That's that masculine energy, right? Let's get into that feminine energy. Capricorn, excuse me, not Capricorn. Pisces brings in that feminine flow. All right. But Saturn rules Capricorn. Capricorn also brings in that feminine flow. All right. And then consider starting or continuing therapy, right? During this transit, maybe after the retrograde, you don't need therapy no more. Nobody's telling you that the therapy has to be forever. Jump-starting you. That's what I always say. Jumpstart you to your journey to self-awareness. The only one that's really going to be able to tell you if your feelings are good and leveled out and stable is going to be you. All right. And then karmic reflection. Karmic reflection, reflect on personal history and patterns. Is there anything you feel you need to make right or address directly? When I say make right to the capability of your senses. Again, there's no right or wrong. It's more of like, how am I feeling with this? Is this thought, events, or energy elevating me to see it from a better perspective? Or am I shutting down, shrinking in, and getting aggressive and defensive? All right. So now, while it's going to be challenging, we're going to add some colors to that shit. We're going to be doing what we have to do because we still have this energy of 3D, manifesting things into reality. So these are the things that's really going to be assisting us to make this transit a bit more profound, having this information of knowing that at least some good shit is going to pop off of it. All right. Mom, I love you. I understood how you didn't have the tools to raise me. Nonetheless, this is where I'm at. These are my gifts. These are my talents. This is what I have accomplished. And I'm going to start from here to begin to heal my 5-year-old self, my 7-year-old self. And then for those of us who do work with our ancestral karma, we begin to elevate our ancestors. Okay. So we're going to get into this collective. Oh, what y'all saying? We're going to get into this collective reading. Okay. Oh, yes. No, don't say that. They dragging all of us. I could feel it myself. All right, I'll see you at the class. The link is below. We're going to get into this collective reading. I'm really excited about this collective reading because I want to know, what are we healing together, you know? What are we healing together as a group? All right. Oh, I do want to say, this is like a little extra bonus. Pluto is in Aquarius, and it has been retrograding from May 2nd, and it's going to be doing that until October 11th. That's for the next 5 months. We have the Saturn in Pisces. Neptune is going to be retrograding next week in Pisces until December 7th. Excuse me. So these are the things that are also going to be transpiring. Give yourself some credit But even showing up and knowing that these things are going to be shifting through you, and accepting and allowing that it's time for a shift. Maybe your grandparents weren't able to do it. Maybe your mother wasn't able to do it. Here you are, allowing yourself to live this life for you. Yes, we can connect to our culture. Yes, we can connect to our ancestors. But let's continue to level it up. We're connecting with them and we're elevating them through the energies that we have now. All right. And again, it doesn't have to be hard. We have people who assist on how to learn how to do this. Okay. My cards at? Where my cards at? From the front to back. All right. So, the angels and archangels, thank you so much for being here, for protecting us tonight. And we are doing this collective reading in 2024 for Saturn and Pisces Retrograde, June 29th to November 15th. What is the collective karmic healing energy? I'll pull out some cards. Give us a little insight on how to get it going. Woo! First and foremost, my ancestors are back because I was drinking that mushroom coffee. And they was like, that's you, but sis, I'm gonna need you to drink some coffee if we want to activate some stuff. I was like, all right, but y'all got 2 days. Y'all got 2 days. After 2 days, I'm going back to my mushroom coffee. All right. God damn, how much they want to shuffle? What are we healing as a collective? Wisdom. Wow. So powerful. And the reason why I can see how, as a team of human beings, we've allowed ourselves to, I feel a little sad. We've allowed ourselves to get manipulated so many times. And so this time around, with Saturn coming in with the karma, bringing us all back to our wisdom, bringing us all back to what we said we were coming to do. Healing deeply in the communities, right? You feel like you no longer belong part of the community. Allow yourself to be part of a community that will help you level up. Some of us want to be part of our community. However, our community may not accept it. Begin to shift your way into a community that does. Because this wisdom card talks about healing that aspect of knowing that you have the power and the wisdom to share with those around you. Some of us do our spiritual stuff on the side. Nobody knows about it. It's a secret. Begin to start bringing it. And I'm hearing that it has to do a lot with our family, right? Some of us were raised differently than how we are spiritually practicing now, how we're thinking now. And so the healing is coming through these next 5 months on how we're facing and showing up to our friends and our family, and giving knowledge and acceptance to your wisdom, not shrinking yourself anymore. A lot of us, including myself, shrink our thought process because our family members might start an argument, because people are always fighting with the words and wisdom, or whatever it is that we're sharing. Let's stop that, right? Let's begin to start. And even yesterday myself, I didn't engage in certain conversations because I just felt like, why are we talking about this? But they needed to talk about it. So the healing the wisdom is, maybe if I need to share something based on what they were talking about, cool. This is talking about like family wise. So again, being proud of the gifts and knowledge that you do have. All right. And beginning to accept the gifts and knowledge that you do, the knowledge that you do have. So that as a collective, we can begin to elevate. Right. Thoughts and things. Come through, because y'all doing too much. Thoughts and things. The straw was thought of. Somebody said, oh, we need something that brings the drink from the bottom of the cup to the top of the cup. All right. Walk with me with this. And everybody said, yeah. So as a collective, we all said, yeah, we're getting a straw. So this is a straw. And now we got a straw. Now we said this is a pen, and everybody's like, yeah, I could write with this. You just can't see it. You got to put it under UV light. We all going to say this is a pen. Why am I saying this? Because with the wisdom, when you begin to share your wisdom and be around like-minded people, it expands and it elevates what you're doing and what they're doing. This talks about healing our surroundings and our collective energy with who we share our wisdom with. So that's for the next 5 months. And this is the solitude part that they're talking about. Then medicine man or medicine woman goes back to us healing through our herbs. For those of you who are wanting to learn more about healing holistically, many of us may continue to go down that route. So as a collective, we are separating ourselves from the systematic healing. Come through. Now, I've been through shamanic journeys, and to be honest with you, what brought me back in 2018 deeply was shamanic journeys. And around that time, I had difficulties remembering my dreams, and I did some shamanic journey, right? Because there was a medicine man and medicine woman that held space so that I can be able to go back and journey. Many of us don't have to do that, right? There's certain tools that you may not need to tap into, and don't rush yourself to go into tools that may not be for you, right? Some of us go into ayahuasca. Some of us don't need that shit. Ayahuasca, listen to me. I'm not disrespect you. I'm not disrespecting the plant. This is the conversations that I'll be having on the low with these entities, so that they can know that, hello, you picked a chick from the Bronx, raised in the Bronx, to give these information. So allow me to be self. All right. So when I say that, I had to talk to the plant real quick, because ayahuasca, next thing you know, I'm taking ayahuasca and it beats me up. Nonetheless, some of us may not need to take a mushroom journey or any of these things, but however, some of us do. Some of us have a difficult time. We have resistance, and these medicines are going to allow us to release some of that emotional baggage, right? So during these next 5 months, who are you trusting? Because you got to trust yourself first. But who else are you trusting to take you through these spiritual journeys in the community? Who are you trusting with your emotional baggages, right? Do you have people who are holding space for you? Tapping back into holistic healing, which is deeper than just the physical, right? Chinese medicine, I'm also listening to here. Anyone who's into Chinese medicine, working with acupuncture and nadis and the meridians, Reiki healers. We're all being activated in some way with our healing techniques, bringing in the wisdom as we guide each other, opening up ourselves for holistic healing. So that's what's happening. Isn't it beautiful? Especially knowing that Pisces is all about the spiritual healing. And then Saturn is bringing in that structure. It's like, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself, because things are being aligned for you in an easy way. And then the last one that we have is monk or nun. What I got with this, some of us may be in the resistance of meditation. I knew it was something like that. When it comes to getting back to the silent mind, to center ourselves, some of us are being rebellious towards that because we lived that life already. We lived the life of being a monk or a nun where we was righteous, where we was following, we was obedient. And so this type of energy really rubs you the wrong way. It's like, nah, I don't want to sit down. I got things to do. That's 3D. I got things to do. Pisces is like, chill out. Remember you used to do this? This is what got you to get a clear mindset. So some of us are healing this. So as a collective, anybody who was a monk or a nun, if you felt that before, that can be as easy as wanting to be with yourself, not being super sexually active, right? That could also lead to that. And I think it's called, is it chastity? Don't get me the line. I think it's called chastity. Where you made an oath, I'm not sexually engaging with anybody until I find the whatever the case might be, or I am not doing this. I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. So there's a bit of a resistance to doing certain things that's related to monk and nuns, following spiritual belief practices because you was part of some religious act, and we all were in another lifetime. So this monk and nun is not for everybody. However, I am seeing that as a collective, we're healing these things, right? We're closing out these things. So any notion of in the past feeling like you were burned at the stake, I think that's how you say it, right? You was burned in front of everybody. Let's close that out. Let's say yes. I felt that in the past. But now I'm in a different space. I have community, I have wisdom. I know how to navigate through this time. And my intuition is guiding me to go through this time. So as a collective, we are healing a lot of our spiritual side. I'm glad no warrior card came out because it'd be hot and spicy out here. So we are healing a lot of our spiritual sides for the next 5 months when it comes to the collectives. And we're gonna just pull out some advice, right? I already gave you guys some practical advice earlier in the video. This is more on the spiritual side. So being scared to, first and foremost, having fear to speak in public is already a sign to say that it's time for you to show up and show out. Fear is resistance, fear is an illusion. I guess it's for specific people. If you're interested in speaking in public, but you're scared, but you have a lot of wisdom, there's so many ways that you can show up without having to fully be in front of people. Right? YouTube is one of them. So give yourself a chance. This is all about giving yourself a chance. All right. So we have the 3 of coins turning into the 4 of coins. The 3 of coins turning into the 4 of coins. It's really, again, you see Saturn right there. The advice is with Saturn to work collectively in the present moment. Coins is about material, right? Is that earth energy. So pick 3 things to work on the next 5 months. And look at Saturn is saying, pick 3 things to work on when it comes to what we just spoke about. What are the themes, right? And those 3 main things that you work through the next 5 months, including whatever creative project you may have left behind. Look at the reward. And with those 2 lights right here, I'm seeing like tunnel vision, right? So for the next 5 months, the advice is to be in tunnel vision. And when I say tunnel vision, again, This sounds like you're not having fun for the summer. This sounds like, the next 5 months is going to be excruciating. No. Structure can be as easily, again, as saying I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and I'm staying up for 30 minutes and I'm working on myself for 30 minutes and I'm going back to sleep. Or I'm going out to the beach. Or I'm going to Pisces is not going to stay in all day, bro. No. Right? Again, there's that escapism that says, this is too structural. And so with that being said, create some structure, be tunnel vision for that project or for that intention. Put in the work little by little and watch this get somewhere. So as you prepare yourself for the part-time job that you desire that's paying you more than $100 an hour for 20 hours a week, the next 5 months, you're structuring your finances, you're structuring your practice, your spiritual practice, whatever that may mean to you. Your spiritual practice can mean I'm just doing breath work. You pick it. Because at the end of the day, you got to be consistent with it. Don't let nobody else pick it for you. And as you navigate through that, you got your resume going on. Boom, now you're doing interviews. And by the time November, December come, probably January 2025, you got that part-time job. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm going to create a journal so y'all can have an astrological journal. Y'all can write things down and we can have it. A journal for yourself. The other one, we have the Three of Cups. Woo! Saturn is our father figure, our male figure, husband, son. All of the male energetic energy is there. You see that crack? Let me see. Can you see how it's... Let's see. Y'all see how it's cracked? And she's crying. Support system. The support system of our masculine side. A lot of us may at times be healing more of our feminine side than our masculine side, right? This is a challenge. Nonetheless, we're here. We're working through this. And this talks about allowing yourself to heal that masculine side, that those daddy issues, those relationship issues of our exes, right? Your masculine side. Are you doing too much? Yes. Well, you say, oh, well, my ladies, well, if Saturn wants me to do things, how can you tell me not to do things? You have 24 hours in a fucking day. Are you going to be 24 hours the whole day doing something? Because that's not what I'm talking about. You know how much you could do in an hour for yourself? A whole lot more than what we were doing in the past. And I would tell you as a testimony, I started up slow. I also felt the same way in the past. Like, what? Now you telling me that I gotta meditate for 30 minutes? You know what I could do in 30 minutes? I could read a book, I could do this, I could do that, I could sit down, quiet the mind, relax, see what thoughts are coming up. When you allow some of these thoughts to dissolve, a thought comes up, hey, let it dissolve. You begin to see what your mind is saying to you and what has been keeping you stuck and blocked. So with the Five of Cups, Five of Emotions, 5 months, allowing yourself to release. Don't hold back those tears. Yes, grieving comes in different forms. Those different forms are endings in jobs, endings in relationships, endings in friendships, endings in actual death, endings in our pets. You know, I gotta include the petsy pets. All right. Ending with food relationships. These are all grieving things. Ending with things that you lost, like some of my crystals. All right. So let's begin to start releasing deep. I'm talking about this is purge. But remember, there's a reward after this purge. Clarity, less pain in the body, because we're holding on to things. Ooh, the double card, baby. What's the double card? Look at this. Releasing blockages. Indoctrination. Right? This is the double card going into the Tower card. So this does talk about, are you going to continue to go down that same path, knowing that there's going to be no result at the end? You tried it already. You tried having that conversation. And every time you try that conversation with that somebody, I can't have a conversation with them. No. That'd be me too. But guess what else I'll do? I'll sit down, I'll shut the fuck up. I go through that. I ain't having no conversation. Fuck out of here, right? I let myself go 3D. Then I go Reiki, work on my throat chakra. I visualize having that conversation with the person. I call in Archangel Michael. And then I ask my spiritual team to set up the best way to have this conversation with this person. Whatever the case might be, this group of people, this interview, whatever. And now I added my spiritual tools while I dissolved the resistance. And whenever it's set up, without any expectation, the conversation is going to be had. You see? So that's what this is talking about. This is talking about, are you going to continue to keep hitting the wall? Are you still going to be getting tempted? Temptations. And some of us, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some of us for the last 6 years have been carrying. You see how they're carrying that? That's carrying this baggage. So for the last 6 years, this baggages that we be carrying on routines that we've been doing for the last 6 years over and over again. Same relationship. And we keep hitting the wall. The advice here is to get ready to be this person on the horse and to guide yourself through that tower moment so that you can break all illusions. A glass can create an illusion, right? Let's put out an angel card. Yeah. All right, don't forget that we're going to get deeper into this for those who enjoy the webinar. And the webinar, it's recorded and you get to go back to it in addition to this video. So what we discussed in this video is here, and what we discussed in the webinar is going to be deeper. It's going to go into the 12 houses. It's going to go into Saturn being on its second decan of Pisces, which is the higher degrees at 19 degrees. So I'm going to go deeper into the degrees. I'm going to go deeper into 8 different tips for healing childhood trauma, healing ancestral trauma, and healing collective trauma, karma, and things like that. So it gets deeper. It gets deeper. And let's take out these angel cards. I appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. And shout out to everybody who has been assisting me. Right? Let's put out that. Hold on. Has been assisting me showing up, right? I've had plenty of resistance showing up, and I had a lot of resistance until 2016. And it wasn't until I went back to Cuba for the first time in my life, right, being the first generational Cuban here from mother and father. So I do be feeling like I'm not from the United States. I don't be feeling like that. But I'll be working through it because I'm here. All of my family's in Cuba. And so when I went in 2016, when I went to Cuba, that's when my spirit guides was like, yeah, you ready? You ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. And I was like, hell no to the no, to the no. And then the collectives was like, hell yeah, to the year, to the year, to the year. And I'm here. So I appreciate you guys. It's been a learning process. Even for myself, on that tower, the double card, 6 years. More or less, that's how long I've been shifting through all of this. So, hey, it applies to me too, baby. This is why sometimes I don't be showing up because I'm like, yo, I'm going through this. All right, what angel is going to assist the collectives to get through this? Come through. Somebody, Samuel. I don't know. Michael. Who is it? Oh, Ragwell. Notice your reoccurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. All right. Clear sentience. So this right here is talking about us activating some of our sensitivities, some of our intuitive powers. I'm gonna say it just like that. Our intuitive powers are gonna be heightening up. All right. So you're gonna know things without knowing things. So you gotta allow yourself to let that process, right? And also for those who are in resistance to receiving messages, don't get bad at the messenger. Shit. Let me tell you something. I have a friend that be telling me stuff, and because I be in my 3D world, I be like, and then I go back and I be like, you know what? I was resistant at the time to receive the message. Thank you so much. The message resonated. So we have to, we don't have to do anything. Pardon me. It's a great choice to tap into your sensitivity. It may not be fun for some of us, right? It could actually be real. Your body might be sensitive and you're just like, ow, I don't like this. You know? And so with that being said, the sensitivity could also be, I've had conversations with my siblings are my A1 source to understand where I'm going with my life, right? And so one of the things is sometimes my one of my siblings, she be mean, right? Right, but we all are mean, right? But it not but and it's working through that in communication when I'm like, don't talk to me like that. And she be like, oh, but when you talk to me like that, and we get into this conversation of let's communicate better. If you do feel like I'm speaking to you a certain type of way, tell me, let's work through this, right? I'm not using these tools for no reason, you know. Throw some Reiki in the air. Now we having this conversation on how to communicate better. All right. So we're all in this together. Me and you, all of us. Make sure that you are sensitive to your surroundings, those who are around you. Oh, I love you too. Those who are around you, right? Because you're going through this, your kids are going through this, your coworkers going through this, your boss is going through this. Don't take nothing personal. Be aware of the energy, be observant, build boundaries. But please, 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 please have fun. Please have fun. Put it in your calendar once or twice a week. You're gonna you're gonna let go and you're gonna do what you love. I don't care if you go and drink. As long as you're not drinking every day, right? So that you get some clarity. Because some things are gonna be painful. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all soon. Oh, all right. Let me see. So Archangel, and I'll put this in the community tab so you guys can see the cards that we got. Let me put them here because then I'll mix them up and I'll forget. And I'll put in the community chat so you can always go back to that and remind yourself, you know, and really get deep into that karma with our fathers, our brothers, our mothers who were our fathers, right? Because you got those mothers that was like, I'm your mother and your father. My mom used to say that all the time, you know? And so tap into that. I think that was the last message. I'm out of here before they keep ring, ring, ring. Bye.